Dear children, welcome to the final module of carbon compounds chapter. The objective of this module is explaining in detail about macromolecules and polymers. So let us recollect what we have seen in our previous module. We have learned about ethanol and ethanoic acid, where ethanol is a colorless liquid with boiling point 78 degrees Celsius. So it is generally called as alcohol or spirit, and it is water soluble in all proportions and have a neutral pH. We know that the consumption of alcohol is very harmful for health. Ethanol is a good solvent. It has wide range of industrial applications. It is used in medicines, cough syrups, and also in many tonics. Regarding the chemical properties of ethanol, ethanol reacts with the sodium to liberate hydrogen gas, and sodium ethoxide are formed as products. When ethanol is heated at 170 degrees Celsius with excess amount of sulfuric acid, it forms ethane. Ethanol is a clean fuel, so some countries use it as an additive to increase the efficiency of petrol. About ethanoic acid, the physical properties of ethanoic acid are, it is otherwise called as glacial acetic acid. Vinegar is 5 to 8% aqueous solution of acetic acid with the boiling point 118 degrees Celsius and melting point 17 degrees Celsius. Acetic acid is acidic in nature, so it turns blue litmus into red. So regarding the chemical properties of ethanoic acid, we have learned that reaction with the base gives sodium acetate, and also reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates also gives sodium ethanoate. Esterification reaction, that is the substances with ester functional groups are formed due to reaction between a carboxylic acid and alcohol. And we have also learned about saponification reaction. When an ester reacts with an alkali, the corresponding alcohol and carboxylic acid are obtained back. This module we are going to see about macromolecules and polymers. So children, what are the chemical names of the nutrients that we get from the foodstuff, namely cereal, pulses and meat? Especially we get proteins which are composed of alpha amino acids. So what are the chemical substances that make cloth, furniture and elastic objects? Cellulose and rubber. Macromolecules. Macromolecules are giant carbon molecules. They are formed from hundreds of thousands of atoms. So these atoms are nothing but polymers. When you see macromolecules, macromolecules can be divided into two, that is natural macromolecule and also man-made macromolecules. First about natural macromolecules. So natural macromolecules like polysaccharides, proteins, nucleic acids, they are the supporting pillars of the living world. So when we take starch and cellulose, we get food, clothing and shelter from it. So this is the structure of starch. You can see it is made up of small repetition of small units. Then about cellulose, you can see cellulose is also a fiber like made up of chain of small units. When we take proteins, proteins constitute a larger part of bodies of animals, and they are responsible for their movement and also various physiological processes. We have learned about protein. Proteins are made up of small structures called amino acids. Then about nucleic acids, we know nucleic acids control the heredity of a living organisms. So nucleic acids are both DNA and RNA. Then rubber is another type of natural macromolecule which has variety of usage. This is a structure of rubber. So all these are naturally occurring macromolecules. Man-made macromolecules. Man-made macromolecules were produced for the first time with an intention to invert an alternative for rubber and silk. So if you see today, man-made macromolecules are used in every walk of life. They have the strength along the length similar to natural fibers. For examples, if you see elastomers, they have the elastic property of rubber. Then the structure of natural and man-made macromolecules, they are formed by joining several small units in a regular manner. So as a result, the macromolecules are polymeric in nature. If you see the picture, this is the structure of thermoplastic, this is elastomer, this is thermoset, which is more like an epoxy where you can heat it up and mold different structures. About polymers, see, a macromolecule we have seen, they are formed by regular repetition of very small units. Those units are called polymer. And the smallest unit that repeats regularly is called as a monomer. If you see, this is a monomer. I think most of you can identify this is a structure of ethene. When this monomer repeats itself, it becomes a polymer. The reaction by which a monomer molecule are converted into a polymer is called polymerization. This conversion is called a polymerization reaction. See, if you see, one important method of polymerization is to make a polymer by joining alkene type of monomer as we see in ethene. See, many a times polymerization happens by joining small molecules where there will be a removal of a small molecule and a chain is formed. Most of the cases the chain is formed by joining alkene type, that is a hydrocarbon having a double bond. So you can see the formation of ethene. So this is the ethene. You can see the double bond getting vanishing. So the double bond opens up and it is formed as a chain, and the ethene forms a polyethene. So like this way, a monomer is joined with each other to form a polymer. We will see now various polymers and their uses in day-to-day life. So this table gives you a variety of polymers and where they are used, and you can see the constituent monomer in every polymer. The first one is polyethylene, which has ethene as a monomer. You can see the chain how it looks like, and it is used in making carry bags and sports wears, etc. The next monomer is polystyrene, which is generally called as thermocol, and you can see the monomer here, which consists of a double bond, and you can see the structure of a polystyrene, and it is used to make variety of thermocol articles. The next polymer we are going to see is polyvinyl chloride, which is commonly called as PVC. Vinyl chloride is the monomer in this, and they are used to make PVC pipes. If you can see doormats and the tubes and bags in hospital kits, they are all made up of PVC. The next polymer is polyacrylonitrile, which has an acrylonitrile as a monomer. You can see it consists of both double and triple bond, but this double bond is what opens up and forms a chain. You can see that in the structure. They are used to make winter clothing and blankets. The next very famous is Teflon, which is tetrafluoroethylene. You can see the structure, and it is widely used to make non-stick cookwares. The next polymer is polypropylene. You can see the structure. They are used to make injection syringes and various type of furnitures. If polymers are formed by repetition of a single monomer, then it is a homopolymer. If the polymers are formed by two or more monomers, then it is called as a copolymer. You can see homopolymers are made up of only single type of monomer, where copolymers are made up of two or even more types of monomers also. So if, take for example PET, that is polyethylene tetraphthalate. It is made up of two monomers, that is a tetraphthalate group and also an ethylene group. This is an example of a copolymer. If you see the structures of the polymers, they may be linked, branched or cross-linked. See, this is how a linear polymer is. They are straight line, linear. and may be branched or may be cross-linked. If you see the polymers, they acquire various properties as per the nature of the monomer and also the type of the structure. We will see more about natural polymers. This table gives you a variety of natural polymers and where they are present. The first one is a polysaccharide and glucose is the monomer. For example, it is present in starch. You can see it is a branched type of polymer. Then when you take cellulose, glucose is the monomer here. It is present in cell walls of plant, but you can see the difference in the arrangement. So this is a cellulose. Above proteins, we know that proteins are made up of chains of amino acids. So this is a big polymer made up of amino acid chain. And we know that proteins are present in muscles, hair, and all the enzymes, skin, etc. Then a nucleic acid DNA, which consists of deoxyribose phosphate, they are present in the chromosomes of organisms. We know that it is a repetition of similar type of units. Then if we take RNA, RNA is a ribose phosphate which is present in the nucleus and cytoplasm of the cell. RNA is also consists of many repetition of similar type of units. If you take rubber, rubber contains isoprene as a monomer and it is present in the latex of rubber tree. This is the isoprene structure and if you see the double bond being opened up here and the repetition units will make the natural rubber. As given in the picture, the value of N can be go to 10,000 also. Now let us summarize the points. The giant carbon molecules formed from hundreds of thousands of atoms are called macromolecules and they are from the type of compounds called polymers. The natural macromolecules like polysaccharides, proteins and nucleic acids are the supporting pillars of the living world. Macromolecules were produced for the first time with an intention to invent an alternative for rubber and silk. The structure of natural and man-made macromolecules is formed by joining several small units in a regular manner. A macromolecule, when it is formed by regular repetition of a small unit, then it is called as a polymer. The small unit that repeats regularly is called as a monomer. The reaction in which a monomer is converted into a polymer is called polymerization. The polymers are formed by repetition of a single monomer, then it is called as a homopolymer. When the polymer is formed from two or more monomers, they are called copolymers. The polymers acquire various property as per the nature of the monomer and the type of the structure. So we have completed the chapter carbon compounds, children. Happy learning. Thank you.